Yeah, so let's discuss this further. We speak now to political analyst Dr. Levy Ndou on Zoom. Welcome, Dr. Ndou. Good morning to you, and thank you so much for your time. I think perhaps give me your initial thoughts here, what you make of the allegations made by ANC member from the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal Thabang Mdletshe of vote buying during that elective conference.
Good morning, Lisedi. Good morning to the viewers at home. Well, I think when there are elections that are hotly contested, like the ones that we had, in most instances, you get the people who lost or who did not make it, finding it difficult to accept that they've actually lost. But at the same time, if there are areas of irregularity, of certain things that have been done not in a proper manner, this kind of complaints have to be sent to the right people for them to be processed. And I would love to appreciate the bravery of Thabang Mdletshe to say he appears to have seen something that has been unexpected, and has actually reported the matter in a very, very proper manner. What might be the issues at hand would be for him or others who might be called to provide evidence so that the matter is put to rest. And as a member of the ANC, he should actually cooperate as much as possible so that the leadership of the ANC has to work without any form of cloud over their heads. But equally, if there is no evidence provided, it might actually create serious problems as outlined by the Secretary to the Commission, Chief Matsila, that this kind of allegations are divisive. They've got a potential to create problems in the leadership. But if there is sufficient evidence to be brought to the fore, it should be done quickly so that those that have been involved in wrongdoing should actually be dealt with.
Yeah, it's interesting that you repeat the calls made there by the clip that we just played, that is, bring the evidence forward. But does the very allegation of vote buying in any way delegitimize the outcomes of the electoral process of the top seven and even the top seven members themselves?
If it is proven beyond any reasonable doubt, I see the delegitimizing of those elections. Remember, one of the issues that was emphasized by the Electoral Commission of the ANC was that members of the ANC and delegates should not be tempted to do other deals, and in the main, those that will involve vote buying. And of course, vote buying should also be viewed as a very serious offense in terms of the electoral processes in the ANC. So if it is indeed proven beyond reasonable doubts, it has a potential to delegitimize the elections. But if it is not proven, and if information is not properly provided, it will raise suspicions that maybe the people who are raising these complaints had other motives rather than coming with a legitimate complaint to the Electoral Commission. So it will require a person who is making these allegations to have sufficient proof that can convince the Electoral Commission to act against those comrades who might have done wrong.
I think what I'd like to do, Dr. Ndou, is actually talk a little bit about what every different role player really should be playing here. Where you've got this letter from Mr. Thabang Mdletshe of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, a scathing letter to former President Kgalema Motlanthe, chairperson of the ANC Electoral Commission. I mean, how much range and power does former President Kgalema Motlanthe really have of what goes on the sidelines of the elective conference? And you know, does his jurisdiction really just lie with the votes that do come in and what he tallies?
Former President Motlanthe is given the responsibility by the ANC to ensure that he runs free and fair elections. Elections that are not tainted by any form of vote buying and all other wrong things that are associated with the rules that have been created. If, of course, the elections will then be deemed to be unfair or not to be free, obviously it has to necessitate the rerun of the elections, because those that would be occupying these positions would have been classified as people who used wrong methods in order to gain access to power. And you'll agree with me that from the onset, rules and regulations were put forward to all the candidates, and the manner in which the Electoral Commission of the ANC was conducting its business was done, in my view, in a very transparent and open manner. There are a number of instances where complaints were raised to the Electoral Commission and they were able to deal with them. I want to emphasize, making a reference to what Chief Matsila just said. He said that things were run very smoothly and they did not detect any wrongdoing on the part of the delegates and those that were contesting. It means that in their own view, nothing suspicious had actually happened. So I think it will be important for them to look at this complaint and make a determination as fast as possible. And of course, they have to gather all the necessary information, because they would love to see the process that is seen to be legitimate, the process that is actually not tainted. And at the same time, there is nothing wrong with people who are raising concerns out of this Electoral Commission if indeed they've detected something sinister or something suspicious in the process.
Dr. Ndou, an interview recently with the chairperson of the African National Congress, where he was speaking to one of our competitor broadcasters. In that interview, chairperson of the ANC essentially talking about concerns that he has around one of the candidates running for the position of Treasurer General allegedly flashing money around at the elective conference. Is that the chairperson in that discussion inadvertently admitting to possible vote buying in the party?
Well, that is what the Electoral Commission has to process. And of course, you will need all the necessary evidence to be provided. And also, I think it's important to understand the context within which certain issues are being raised. If indeed the chairperson of the ANC has seen people flashing out money, and if indeed he can identify a person who has tried to bribe him with 100,000 rands, it will be important for such evidence to be brought forward. We also need to be able to differentiate general statements and statements that are actually accompanied by facts and necessary proof that this has actually happened. And I think it will be the right time now for the chairperson of the ANC, if he has proof, to provide such to the Electoral Commission. Look, the process remains open. The Electoral Commission is available for anybody to provide all the necessary information that they can bring for them to be able to make a determination. That is exactly what I expect from Thabang. It's exactly what I expect from Gwede Mantashe as well.
I think just before I let you go, Dr. Ndou, you and I spoke extensively as well during the elective conference, and I think one of the big themes that we touched on over those few days was the mandate given by branch delegates, by branches who are sent to the elective conference to represent them. Surely there must be and should be a mechanism that ensures that branch delegates stick to the mandate given to them by their branch. Or is the issue here that there simply is no oversight over that particular issue there?
Well, you and I had a lot of discussions during the conference, and most of the people would agree with me that in many instances, branches had to stick to the mandate given to them by their branches. You know the pronouncements that were made by the leadership of the ANC in Limpopo, pronouncements made by the leadership of the ANC in the Northwest. And that is what branches came out to say: we have got a mandate coming where we have been sent, which are the branches, and as delegates, we are not going to change from that mandate. And of course, if people are very firm on their positions, those that want to speak on their behalf would actually do so with an intention to mislead the public and assume that provincial leaders speak on behalf of the branches. And that has proven not to be correct, because branches would say, we carry the mandate from our branches, and as delegates, we do not have the right to change our mandate, because this is what we have been sent to come here to do. And of course, if there is this wrongdoing in the form of vote buying, is something that I expect the Electoral Commission to act on it and make a final determination.
Yeah, I mean, this is an important discussion, certainly, and we will be bringing you the latest as it unfolds right here on SABC News. Thank you so much for your analysis, Dr. Levy Ndou. They're an absolute pleasure having you on the show.